The twin moons of Varath 7 cast silver light across the crimson jungle, where death moved on 6 legs and hunger knew no mercy. Jace Wren hadn't planned to be a hero. The 18-year-old colonist had only ventured beyond the settlement perimeter to collect mineral samples for his geology assignment. But fate, as it often does with humans, had other plans. He heard the scream first, a sound that pierced through the thick alien foliage like a blade through silk. It wasn't human. The pitch was too high, the harmonics too complex, oscillating between frequencies that made his teeth ache. But pain was universal, and Jace recognized it instantly. His instructors had warned him. Stay within the barriers. The Varith predators show no mercy. You're not equipped for survival out here. Jace ran toward the scream anyway. He found her in a clearing where the bioluminescent moss glowed like scattered stars. Elira C., a Therian girl no older than himself, lay crumpled against a massive tree trunk. Her silvery skin, normally radiant, was torn and bleeding a luminescent blue that pooled beneath her. Her forearms clutched uselessly at her wounds, and her large obsidian eyes widened in terror, not at her injuries, but at the creature circling her. The Razorback was a nightmare given flesh. 3 meters tall, armored in chitinous plates that had evolved over millennia to deflect energy weapons, it moved with the patient confidence of an apex predator. Its 6 legs clicked against the stone with mechanical precision, and its mandibles dripped with acidic venom that hissed when it struck the ground. Jace had no weapons, no plasma rifle, no shield generator, not even a proper blade. He had a geology hammer, a sample bag, and a human brain that refused to accept the word impossible. "Hey!" he shouted, stepping into the clearing. His voice cracked, fear and adrenaline fighting for control. "Over here, ugly!" The Razorback's compound eyes swiveled toward him. It calculated. This new creature was smaller, unarmored, alone. Easy prey. It charged. Jace didn't run. Running triggered the chase response, and he'd never outpace this thing. Instead, he did something the creature had never encountered in millions of years of evolution. He ran toward it. The Razorback hesitated just for a microsecond, and that hesitation cost it. Jace slid beneath its first strike, the mandibles snapping shut centimeters from his head. He swung the geology hammer with everything he had, aiming for the joint where the creature's front leg connected to its body. The impact shattered the hammer's handle, but the blow landed true. The Razorback screeched, stumbling. Elira C. watched in disbelief. Her people, the Therian, were warriors. They had conquered 17 star systems through superior technology and tactical brilliance, but they fought with weapons, with ships, with calculated strategy. They didn't fight predators with mining tools. Jace grabbed a broken branch, thick as his arm and covered in thorns, and jammed it into the creature's exposed joint. The Razorback thrashed, its armor plates scraping against stone, but Jace held on. His hands bled, his muscles screamed, but he didn't let go. "Not today," he growled through gritted teeth. "Not today." The creature tried to shake him off, slamming its body against trees. Jace's ribs cracked. Pain exploded through his chest, but his grip only tightened. He'd read about humanity's ancient hunters, how they'd chased prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. Persistence predation, they called it. Humans didn't have claws or venom, but they had something better. They had stubbornness that bordered on insanity. Finally, mercifully, the Razorback's movements slowed. Its limbs trembled. Jace pulled himself up its armored back and drove the broken branch into the gap between its head plates. Once, twice, 3 times. The creature collapsed. Jace fell with it, rolling across the moss-covered ground. Every breath felt like knives in his lungs. His vision swam with black spots, but he crawled toward Elira C. "You," she whispered in her musical language, her translator implant flickering weakly. "You fought a Razorback with a stick." "Hammer," Jace corrected, coughing blood. was a hammer. Before. She tried to laugh, but it came out as a wheeze. My people will never believe this. 3 days later, Jace stood in the great hall of the Therion flagship, his torso wrapped in medical gel wrap, his ribs healing but still aching. Beside him, Lyra C. stood tall, her wounds already regenerated thanks to her species' advanced biology. Before them stood Chief Commander Vex Thorin, a towering figure whose 4 arms were adorned with the scars of 1,000 battles. His obsidian eyes studied Jace with an intensity that made the young human want to step back. The entire council had assembled. News of what happened had spread through both colonies like wildfire. A human boy, no weapons. A razorback. Jace Wren! The chief's voice resonated through the hall. You violated protocol. You endangered yourself. You acted without strategic planning or proper equipment. Jace swallowed hard. Yes, sir. You saved my daughter's life. The hall fell silent. Chief Vex Thorin descended from his platform. His massive form towered over Jace, but then, in a gesture that made the entire assembly gasp, the chief lowered himself to one knee, bringing his eyes level with the humans. We Therion have studied humanity since first contact, the chief said slowly. We analyzed your wars, your history, your evolution. We saw a species that reached the stars not through natural selection's gifts, but through defiance of nature itself. We cataloged it. We documented it. But we didn't understand it. He placed one massive hand on Jace's shoulder. Until now. The chief stood, turning to address the assembly. Our species fights with honor, with technology, with tactical superiority. But this human boy fought with something we've lost. The raw, primal refusal to accept defeat. He had no advantage, no weapon worthy of the name, just determination and what his people call audacity. Vex Thorin's 4 arms spread wide. I propose a new treaty, not of trade or territory, but of brotherhood. Let the Therion learn from humanity's fire, and let humanity benefit from our wisdom. And let it be known, his voice rose to a thunderous declaration, that any who threaten a human under Therion protection will answer to me personally. The assembly erupted in approval, their voices creating a harmonic chorus that shook the walls. Lyra C. stepped close to Jace, her eyes shimmering. You could have died. Jace shrugged, wincing at the pain it caused. Yeah, well, that's kind of what we do. Die trying or succeed. Either way, he smiled, we don't leave people behind. And in that moment, the galaxy learned a fundamental truth about humanity. They might not be the strongest, the fastest, or the most advanced. But when a human decides someone is worth saving, physics itself has to step aside.